Being in your true divine feminine is about being. She is extremely kind and warm. A woman who's truly in her feminine and she is high value. When you're around this type of woman and she has that sort of like motherly, nurturing energy, you feel all warm and fuzzy, and it actually does multiply and fully improves your day and inspires you to be kind to the next person. So hey guys, welcome to Self-Care Sundays with Sophia, where we talk about self-love, self-growth, and everything in between. Today's video, we are going to be talking about being a high-value woman, a woman who is in her divine feminine energy and she respects herself fully and wholeheartedly. So I'm kind of just gonna mostly go through bullet point list notes of what my opinion and from what I've researched and seen other videos and Googled, what do we think of when we think of a high value woman? So something that I think is very clearly something that a woman of high value would do is she would respect herself, and she also respect others. She respects others no matter what their social status is. She treats everybody the same. There's no higher or lower. Everybody is treated with equal amounts of respect. And that also goes back to the fact that she is extremely kind and warm. Because this high value woman respects her time, she respects other people's time as well. And she actually loves her alone time. So she's happy on her own. However, when she is in the presence of others, she's going to make it count, and she's not going to bring any negativity to the room. You know how there's certain people that you meet up with them and they talk about how this went wrong, that went wrong, or they express negativity and they're just like, ugh, and it's just like not fun to be around. A woman who's truly in her feminine and she is high value would never do that. She respects your time, and so she's always just very warm to be around, and that's why people want to be around her so much. Men or women, and not necessarily romantic, just any age, any human of any kind, she is magnetic because she has such a warm and loving energy, and she never brings that negative energy into the room. So people just want to be around her, and in fact, she actually inspires people to be more warm. And when people say how, oh, spread love, the world needs more of it, you know, you're making a difference one smile at a time, it's people like her that when people say that, that really is true, because when you're around this type of woman and she has that sort of like motherly, nurturing energy, you feel all warm and fuzzy, and it actually does multiply and fully improves your day and inspires you to be kind to the next person. So that's why, again, people just really want to be around this person in any way, shape, or form. She's warm, she's loving, and she respects you. And she's a good listener as well. That's another thing about her, is when it's your turn to speak, you can tell that she's really listening and she's actually interested. The high value woman doesn't have all this pride and ego and, oh, she knows it all. She may seem like she knows it all, and she may seem like she has it all figured out, but she's very aware that she's got a long ways to go. She's very much flawed, but she's still okay with that. But she's very happy to learn from you. So when you have something to say, the microphone is yours, the floor is yours, and she's very happy to learn. And you can just see it in her eyes that she is wholeheartedly listening. She's not playing a bunch of chattering monkeys in her mind, and she's not waiting for the spotlight so that she can talk about herself again. No, she is giving the floor to you, and she's actually expanding on that and very interested in what you have to say. And that's another reason why you feel so warm around this high value woman, because she makes you feel heard, and she's able to walk in your shoes because she actually makes an effort in understanding you and how you feel, and she is compassionate and has empathy as well. She really makes you feel heard and respects what you have to say. This also, though, she is kind. However, she does still speak her mind, and she does have firm boundaries, but that doesn't mean that she's not kind. It's kind of like that stereotype when you have to say no, you feel like you're being mean. She has no problem saying no. However, she's still very lovely and kind about it because she has these firm boundaries that are just non-negotiable. And because you respect her, you're okay with that as well. People are okay with her stating her boundaries. And if she has these strong opinions, she has a good delivery system in a way that even if you feel the complete opposite, you actually want to hear from her. Oh, that's interesting. What makes you feel that way? And vice versa. She's willing to hear your side as well. But she does feel very strongly, or she does have these opinions, but she knows she's flawed, so she is open to changing her mind. But for now, she is very confident in speaking her mind and saying what she truly thinks. Because at the end of the day, she's okay with herself. She knows she's a high value woman. So she's not, afraid and like her body is all tense. No, she's totally confident, comfortable. She could speak in front of a whole room if she wanted to. But that's the key, is she is not the one who's blabbing and telling all these stories. She is a very good listener. In fact, she prefers to listen, because a high value woman knows that if you are quiet long enough, people usually end up telling on themselves. So it's actually a lot smarter to pull your energy back and just scan the room and let the other people speak, so that you can kind of evaluate where you stand, and is this room serving you? Is this a conversation I want to partake in? She's very protective of her energy. And on that note, she is extremely mature and emotionally stable. She has a lot of integrity, and she can read the room, so her emotions are always on check. She is very mature in the sense that she kind of just seems like she has everything figured out. Even though she's more than willing to admit that no, she doesn't. She's a work in progress, just like everybody else. But she just has so much grace and integrity with the way she flows with things, and she has incredibly strong morals, and she takes very good care of herself. Mentally and physically and emotionally, she overall is completely good on her own. She loves to cook, or even if she doesn't love to cook, she is very aware of what she's feeding her body, and even just like things like her appearance. She's always, her hygiene is in check. She's got her hair, nails done. She's wearing appropriate clothing that fits her body type. And these are very, surface level things, but not really. When somebody doesn't take care of their hygiene and they're not put together, it's actually a form of self-respect, and this high value woman respects herself completely. So she always does look tidy and clean and put together because she values herself and she respects herself. So that manifests into the physical world because that's how she feels on the inside. She's also very, very passionate about her life. She's got a very full life, and her life makes her happy. So yes, she might have romantic relationships or friendships, but they all are very balanced and they're healthy, and she doesn't need anybody too much. She enjoys having those relationships, but her life is so full on her own because she has all of these hobbies and things that she's passionate about. She really enjoys her alone time, and she likes being with herself. So yes, whatever romantic relationship she enters, that's great. However, she's already very, very full on her own, and this man may improve her life a little bit, but at the end of the day, if they broke up, she would be more than okay. And that's the beauty of this high value woman. She knows her worth. She's high value, but let's not confuse it for high maintenance. When a woman is high maintenance, they make all of these unrealistic expectations and demands and all this attention, and not necessarily when men hear the word high maintenance, they think, oh, she's a gold digger, she wants all of these things. It's not necessarily that. It's also like emotional demands, wanting someone to be at their foot, beck and call. And I feel like a high maintenance woman is very kind of grumpy, and a high value woman is not like that at all. A high value woman, she's full on her own and she makes herself happy, and she's not going to give these demands or expectations on anyone because she's totally okay on her own. People actually just want to help this high value woman because she is so warm and lovely. Whereas the high maintenance woman, people are just kind of like, ugh, she's high maintenance. Ugh, I don't want to have this job. I don't want to do this. They're not fun to be around. She's self-sufficient and she doesn't demand people to do all these tasks for her. And she doesn't spread any negativity the way a high maintenance woman would. I feel like a high maintenance woman would be complaining and grumpy and, oh, it's not good enough. The high value woman doesn't do that at all. She only spreads love and she is very, very kind to everybody. Back to her romantic relationship. This high value woman, she's not even attracted to players or F-boys because she values herself so incredibly much that doesn't excite her. The whole hard to get thing, hot and cold thing, that doesn't do it for her because she only gives her time to those who earn it. So a man that shows that he wants to be in her life, he's so honored and knows that he's struck gold, she only gives the attention to those types of men. Because at the end of the day, is how you think of yourself is how others are going to think of you. When somebody's confident, it shines through and they have this glow about them. And when people are confident, it makes you respect them and it makes you think higher of them as well. Since you seem to have it figured out, that's just natural for other people to treat you, for other people to believe in you even. Back to the kind thing. This high value woman, she is extremely kind and she is not a competitive woman who competes with other women or other men or just anyone in general. She's not malicious, she's not petty, she does not believe in revenge. She only believes in spreading love. Even if this person has harmed her, that's not to say people can walk all over her. She'll remove those people from her life, but she still will send them love. And this just inspires other people to be kind and to really work on themselves, because if somebody's treated with disrespect and you can still smile at that person and genuinely mean it, that takes a lot of self-love and courage, because I think a lot of people, they want revenge or they want to get the person back. This high value woman doesn't even need that because she is so okay on her own and she has these standards and she has this self-respect, but she knows that harming others is just going to bring more harm to herself. So if anything, she would rather spread more love to the type of person that could be so wounded that they want to spread negativity. That she isn't going to allow that to be in her life. However, any last interactions with them, she will still be kind. And usually those people end up regretting it, or they have so much ego that they can't admit it to themselves. But that's not the language that she speaks, because this high value woman, she doesn't let her pride or ego rule her life. She is very humbled and she's not too good for anything. And the types of people that have all this pride and their ego runs their life, she just can't relate because she's just a kind and humble person. Another thing that's so incredible about this high value woman is that she lives a very balanced life, and that is in all aspects of her life. She will have a little bit of fun, but she's still gonna work hard. She eats a healthy diet, but she still will treat herself. She loves to exercise. Her relationships are healthy. Everything is very much evened out. She's not doing anything to the extreme or overdoing it. And because of that, her emotional state is very balanced as well. She's very emotionally intelligent, emotionally mature, and she's just calm to be around. She has that motherly je ne sais quoi energy, and people are just really uplifted when they're around her and they just want to be around her more. She is so inspiring when you think of this woman. And what we can do is, if you want to step into your high value woman era, what you can do is really just all of these traits that I've been listing is picture yourself doing that. Picture you as your body acting that way, and then just start becoming her. It's very easy for us, if we want to start becoming more in our divine feminine energy and practicing our femininity, it's very doable if we just start putting one foot in front of the other. And I think it's a lot easier if you meditate, then you can be more aware of your actions and dissect it in the moment. If we're present in the moment, we can be more aware of our behaviors and we can correct it and start creating new patterns. But I think being in your feminine and being this high value woman is a lot about being in the moment and staying grounded and present. So meditation is very much key. My favorite analogy to say is that feminine is being and masculine is doing. And I think in this day and age, a lot of women we're doing a lot now, and we're kind of in survival mode. And even just with like the economy and working, it's very like fight or flight and do and survive. And it's harder for us to be in our feminine because there's not as many traditional mother, father roles, man of the house, that whole thing. It's not as common anymore, and we are expected to hustle and work hard, and that's a very masculine place to be in. And it's okay to have masculine energy for sure. In fact, you actually have to have masculine energy for a lot of things in your life, but being in your true divine feminine is about being. Just being in the moment, being still. That's why we were talking about how she's such a great listener and she observes the room, and she's very conscious of how her body feels, and her body will let her know if this is a room that she should be in. Women who are in their divine feminine have a very strong intuition, and they know how to listen to that intuition. That is our superpower, is being able to feel the energy of a person and knowing if it's for you or not, and being able to uplift other people with your energy as well. Also, being in her divine feminine, she refuses to settle for less because she knows her worth. Back to the whole title of this video is being a high value woman. A high value woman knows she's high value. However, she's extremely humble, and she's not walking around with her head up thinking, oh, I'm the shit, I'm the best. And she's not cocky like that. She's extremely beautifully confident, and she is so authentic and real that you can see that she is just unapologetically herself, and she's okay with that. Even if there are certain traits or quirks that make her weird, she loves that about herself because she is authentically her, and she knows that that is more than enough, which makes her high value. Her happiness comes from within, and she is just always radiating love and glowing because, again, she is so okay with herself, and she knows that life is a gift. That's why it's called the present. The present moment is a gift. Being alive is such a beautiful thing, and if we practice being in our feminine energy, we are going back to what's natural for us, and we are going to be more authentically ourselves because that's what we were born to be like. For the most part, I'll say, if you identify as another gender, however, both women and men can practice their femininity, but take this as it resonates with you. I'm just speaking for me or people that can relate to me. And one more trait that I forgot to talk about is she always does the right thing because she has great morals and she's a genuinely good person. Okay, I think I'm done rambling about being a high value woman. I actually feel very inspired myself to kind of check myself and really turn on my divine feminine energy and remind and know that I am a high value woman and you are a high value woman as well. We just need to show ourselves love and continue to put in these feminine practices. That's all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Sophia Pearson. You can find me on all my social medias at Sophia Pearson. We'll see you guys next week on Self-Care Sundays with Sophia. Bye. Thanks for watching.